Thank you, Dr. Shafiq. It's the matter of great pleasure to be the part of this international webinar and particularly having an opportunity to learn from our honored guest, Dr. Imran Qureshi and Dr. Sobia Iram. Uh, if, as the responsibility is given to say something as opening of this international webinar, I would like to say that COVID-19 has impacted the world significantly. The severity of this effect can be seen in all walks of life. The economic, social, and psychological impressions are enormous. Due to the global outbreak of COVID-19, the global GDP is likely to be affected between 2.3 to 4.8%, and this is the data of Asian Development Bank. Additionally, it has also been predicted that the current pandemic outbreak may cause global foreign direct investment to shrink by 5 to 15%. Further, according to International Labour Organization, and they have many publications and citations, almost 25 million people around the globe could lose their jobs. And this loss of workers' income of as much as 3.4 trillion American dollars. A more recent report of International Labour Organization shows that measures are influencing 81% around the globe, and it's about 2.7 billion workers are going to be affected. It is said the current global crisis is likely to be worse than 2008 crisis. It is the worst global crisis since Second World War. It, in developing countries, poverty is likely to increase by around 11 million people. According to the United Nations Development Programme, income losses in developing countries are likely to exceed 220 million US dollar. World Bank in its recent report has predicted that South Asia could face its worst economic performance in last 40 years, with half of countries falling into a deep recession as obvious by the shrinking GDP. Apart from economic impacts, the psychological and social impacts are enormous, and these will be felt for a long time in future. The ways of work have changed. The working hours and screen times have increased. The work life is becoming disbalanced. Children cannot go to school and are engaging more in electronic devices. Our ways of shopping and eating have been changed. And within all of this chaos, the IT companies have made huge profits. This multi-dimensional crisis has multi-dimensional impacts, and this scenario brings up multi-dimensional opportunities for researchers. Therefore, this session is arranged with the two distinguished academicians from foreign universities who can share their views on this very important and emerging topic, challenges and opportunities for research in COVID-19 environment. I welcome these two both renowned speakers from the Zabas family and thanks them for making themselves available. With this, I hand it over again to Dr. Shafiq to proceed further. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear Dean, for your insights. Before moving forward, I would like to share that there are many participants which are like participating here from different countries. Like at least what I can share that we have participants other than from our panelists. We have from Saudi Arabia, China, Malaysia, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and many more. So uh, let me announce that after the presentations, we will have question and answer sessions. And then we will have also, we would like to take the views from our respected participants as well. So, and a recorded session, a recorded version of this webinar will also be shared in them. So, without wasting any time, I would move to Dr. Imran Qureshi for his thoughts.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me share my slides first. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
No. Yeah, we can see now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Shafiq. Assalamu alaikum. All participants, good morning. And those who are from other countries, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, accept my greetings. So let us start with the today's topic. It's very interesting and well-timed topic for discussion among the practitioners and also the academicians. So let me start with thanking our host from the ZEBIS. So Madam Shahnaz Wazir Ali, the President ZEBIS. Mr. Khusro Parvez, Head of Islamabad Campus. Professor Dr. Amir Feroz Shamsi, Dean of Faculty of Management. Dr. Muhammad Asif, Head of Department, and my very own friend, Dr. Muhammad Shafiq. Thank you very much for inviting us. So this situation, as our Dean already mentioned, that there are so many things we are hearing about the this pandemic, and situations are not very much favorable to all the nations, and the borders are closed, the traveling has been restricted, and many of the countries, they are looking forward to lockdown again because we are experiencing the second wave of the pandemic. So that's why we should understand this is something we have to work with long. It is not something you can say that it will be solved in 1 year or maybe 1 month, or so it may take more time. So let us try to live with this situation and change our norms. So that's why many of these nations have already adopted new norm. So let's discuss on what about the academicians and researchers main opportunities and prospects for this situation. But mainly when I started with this topic with Dr. Shafiq, I thought it is a lot of information available and I can talk on many different perspective and dimensions. But today I decided to talk more about on digital transformation and how we can get benefit from digital transformation, being an academician and researcher. So this would be our main agenda today. I will share different detail, but as my other seminar, so I will start with my brief introduction, and you can consider this as my own marketing strategy. So let me allow me to market myself for 2 minutes. So I'm Dr. Muhammad Imran Qureshi. I'm also the director of Connecting Asia. I'm also working in University Technical Malaysia, Malacca, and I'm also the president of Pakistan chapter DIAPA, the Association of Professional Researchers and Academicians, Pakistan chapter, and also I'm one of the director in Reader Insight Publisher. I'm also editor of few journals which can be checked by my profile on online available. So this is a brief profile about my research. I have done already 135 publications, which is already online with H index of 22 and I-10 index is 52. And my citations, as my friend already told you, it is 1,717 citation and more than 1,000 in Scopus citation. So this is a brief track record from my side. I work in ComSets Ahmedabad for 9 years, and then later on I moved to Malaysia. I did my PhD from UTM, and now I'm working since last 5 years here. So let's start with the today's outcome. So I divided this topic on very simple understandings which everybody can understand and get benefit from it. And I will talk about the three major components. The first one would be the understanding the current situation. What is the current situation? And the world we are living now is not same we were living or we were used to live. Now this is something we are experiencing in all around us. So we need to adjust ourselves with this. This is first thing. The second, we'll see how future directions for the research and what different or new emerging themes have been published in different databases. So I will show you the future trends of these research, and we'll get some direction for the future. And how we can, being an academician, how we can use this current situation in our benefit. That is what we always learn. We need to turn our problems into our opportunities. So that is what we are trying to do in this presentation also. So let us start. I would start my presentation with asking a very simple question to everybody. Do you know what is the famous picture of 2020? If I ask you, most of us, we can guess. This is something we know day and night, and even some people, they are looking at this picture in the dreams, and it became a nightmare for everybody in 2020, and also started in 2019. But this is, we have heard about it so long. We know all this increasing in numbers, and most of us, we are daily updating our information from different websites to be in the to get this information from the different websites. So what does it mean? We are already know, and we are already aware of the severity of this issue. Now I would talk about what situation we are feeling or we are suffering from, and how we can use it. Now we know many of our friends, I lost my uncle also during this COVID in Pakistan, and that is a big loss. And many of our families have suffering from the same feeling. So that is, we already know. But academicians and being a researcher, my role is to bring positive thoughts and bring positive things in everybody to understand how world is dealing with that situation and how we can improve our current understanding and thoughts about it. So my topic would be more on how we can get benefit in terms of research and in terms of being an academician for this current situation. Although there are so many challenges, obstacles, and I must say problems are there, but still I think this situation gave us a lot of opportunities. So I will try to unlock some of those opportunities, and we can understand how we can proceed further. Let's move to the current situation. I briefly explain about the current situation, that we are experiencing the second wave of pandemic, and most of the countries are going to close their borders again. That is my perception, but many of these countries have already done it, because in Europe we are experiencing the second wave, in India, and somehow in Pakistan also numbers are increasing. So this is the second wave we are experiencing all over the world. And I don't think so the world is ready for the second wave also. So that's why many of these countries like Australia, New Zealand, they have closed their borders. Malaysia have closed their borders. So many countries have imposed these travel restrictions. And most of the work is done remotely. I know in Pakistan we are going toward the normal economy, but still with many SOPs, it is not the way we do our work before the pandemic. So even though we are at work, but still with many of the restrictions are there. So how we deal with this and what are the benefits? Let's move. Now, what you are experiencing is, I must say, it is a digital transformation. Before this, digital transformation was ongoing and it was a slow process. But this opportunity, and when this COVID situation happens, digital transformation has been increasingly, and it is at unprecedented pace. Everything is online now. Everything is, you are using application, you are doing shopping, you are doing healthcare services. Everything is transformed to digitalization now. So that's why this digital transformation became a most important indicator of the current situation and the future also. Although maybe the pandemic situation will resolve, but still we are living in a different world. So don't consider of, even after the pandemic situation, many businesses are going to be performed online and digital transformation. So that is the sense we are experiencing. If you can see now, we are doing this webinar. Before pandemic, it was not accepted by the many people, but now it became our normal practice. So that is the power of digital transformation that is basically led by the pandemic situation. So business already have been reshaped. We already know that educations have been reformed. We know that we are dealing with this situation, and that's why most of the institutions all around the world were closed, and then online education was coming up, and then many of the different types of the applications and platforms have been evolved. So very quickly digital transformation is being done, and some of these companies like Zoom, it becomes the best company in the world during this pandemic situation. But now every company like Google and Teams and Microsoft, all these are working on these platform. So education, it is already being transformed. The healthcare services is being, I must say, largely reformed. Many countries are looking for the application, the instrument through which they can diagnose people no matter where they are. So digital transformation, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, all these technologies have been used for the healthcare services also. So you can experience a change and enhanced healthcare services all over the world. So that is another thing we are aware of. And also the societies have already adopted the new normal. The new situations, everybody under the COVID, we are forced to stay away from our friends, not forced, willingly, because if we are not doing that, we may not be safe. So those friends to whom we were sitting together every day, whole day, but now we have to maintain a social distance. So that is how societies have changed quickly. They adopted new normal. I know maybe in Pakistan this practice is not up to that level as compared to other countries, but sooner or later we have to adopt this new normal until we don't have a proper solution for the problem. So let me consider that most of the societies have adopted this new normal. Now, digital transformation, I told you digital transformation is led by the COVID. We are already aware of it. But what is digital transformation? There are three major elements you should understand when we say digital transformation. So what does it mean? There are three components of digital transformation. So first, I have already explained this slide. So digital transformation is in the pandemic situation give us, and the rate in the digital transformation is very high. And we need to learn how to use this situation rather than opposing this situation. So that is what I'm going to teach you, and we will try to learn how we can use this. So the components of digital transformations are very simple. There are three components. One is the data. Now you can see social media, you can see all around us the data is available. Not only the social media, whatever you are doing, you are generating a log, the data. So data is available and that can be used for many purposes. So the data is the basic component of digital transformation. The second one is the technology through which you process this data. Maybe application, maybe online platforms, maybe other, but still technology is being used to process the data. And finally, the people. So these three major components of digital transformation: data, technology, and people side. So I will talk about the people side and how we can work with the, because we are social scientists, so we have to consider all these situations, and we should use this for the benefit of our academicians and research society. Okay, let's move, and I would start with the discussing about the different research trends which have been emerged during the pandemic situation. And then we'll come on the technological part. That would be my concluding part. So let's consider the situation. The world has been transformed. You are doing your research, and what new themes and what type of research has been done for the pandemic situation. I just calculated few of these research articles. So I searched on COVID-19 research from 2019 to 2021. So what I found is 48,354 documents were present in the Scopus in just 1 year. So in just 1 year, we can see in Scopus 48,000 and 49,000 articles were published, and from the social science it is only 6,000 articles which combine with the economics, business, and all other related fields, psychology. I will go into the details of these research trends in the. So let me share what are the major areas where this research has been done. So 52.6% of the research documented in Scopus was done for the medicine. Obviously, that is something everybody should take care of, and most of the countries, they are trying to develop the vaccination. So most of the funding and most of the money in the world now, it is open for development of the vaccination, and 127 countries have been assigned to development of the vaccination under UNO vaccination development program. So you consider how much amount they are paying to each country in order to develop the vaccination. So 127 countries are already in process of development of this vaccination. But this is not the only concern. Yes, it is a big concern, the major concern, but still it is not the only concern for the researchers. So we are looking at this in all aspects of research. So you can see that biochemistry, social sciences, immunology, nursing, pharmacy, and all other psychology, all other related fields of the world of the research, they are focusing on COVID-19 research. Okay, so now the world is changed quickly, and most of the research is being documented in recent year is based on COVID-19. So that's why you can understand that the situation is how much intense and how quickly researchers are responding to that situation. Although in terms of medicine, we receive some successful options, but still not the confirmed and the valid options are available. So still vaccination is ongoing, but obviously the researcher, they have some successful experimentation. But if you see on the other side, the businesses has been reshaped, education is largely affected. So we need to understand this situation is not normal, and all these countries and all these researchers are working together to make a livable life. So that is what we are looking at, this Scopus database. But if you go to ISI and other databases, you will find more than these articles in this area. So a huge number of research articles is being published in the past year. Let's move to the next slide. You can see more than 50,000 articles were published in 1 year only for COVID-19 if you search this keyword. Now, let me focus more on social sciences. So social sciences, we have pure social sciences, 38%. Okay. Now, medicine, in terms of social sciences, this distribution is only for the social sciences. So medicine means the social sciences aspect of medicine, maybe acceptability, maybe the usability and all the information or knowledge, all these areas of medicine, which have been covered under the social sciences. Then business management and accounting, 9% of the research has been done on that part. Obviously, that is our major concern. Arts and humanities, 7%. Economics, econometrics, and finance, another 7%. You can see that the total is environmental sciences, 6%, psychology, 4%. Although psychological impact is huge, and moving to our workplaces again, it is not easy. You are carrying this psychological impact, and you have to check how you can correct the psychological impact and how you can be safe on your workplaces. So these all concerns are emerging nowadays. When you open the economy, obviously psychological impact will increase, and even if you do the lockdown, that also causes so many psychological impacts. So that we will discuss what type of research has been done on the psychology. Now, nursing 3%, engineering 3%, computer science, energy, and health profession, and all this. But remember, all these I have taken for social sciences perspective. Engineering, computer science, and all other related areas like life sciences and all, I have not included those in this. So if you are looking at any engineering related area, it means that it is a multidisciplinary type research which they conducted with the social scientists. So I'll cover this part, okay? So now we understand that the emerging themes are like this. Every area have been affected, and you can perform research in every area. I'll go back and I will tell you the different themes. And my fellow Dr. Sobia have already distributed some themes for you for future research, so you can understand what type of new research can be conducted on COVID. But my part, I'm just explaining the different major areas where this research has been done in the past. But don't consider if something is in environment, if it is in engineering, and it is in life sciences, you cannot do that research. You can do, and you can collaborate with many different researchers. So I will explain to you how you can do that. Okay, so the opportunities are there in terms of research. Okay, let me share few more research themes. If I categorize very broader categories, not the specific ones. The specific ones will be discussed by the Dr. Sobia, but I'm just going into the deeper. I extracted those 50,000 record, and then I divided them into major categories where we can do our research, or main areas where COVID related research has been focused in the recent past, mean 2020 and 2019. Okay, now research themes, I just tried to evaluate the different categories. So first, education related area. If you can see, this is the themes for education related area. So how you are going to use online platform, what is the role of teachers, students, university roles, internet facilities. If you can see all these, and even the role of parents. So you can see there is a lot of areas where education related research has been done during the pandemic situation. So this is the past research, past 1 year research only, 2019 and 2020. Okay, so you can see that a huge number of themes have been emerged. But what are these themes, we will discuss later. But major, you can consider that education related areas have been highlighted in the literature on in a lot of papers, and it covers a lot of percentage of your social sciences related research on the COVID. So let's, second, the business and economics. We already know business and economics is facing a lot of issues during this COVID situation. The businesses has been shut down, economies have been shuttered. We are looking into so many, I think, bankruptcies even, and even some countries are at this stage, and some countries were not able to handle that, and then they've stopped testing and just opened their economies because they were not able to sustain that. Because if they do the social distancing and lockdown, it means that they are killing their people by hunger. So that is something we should understand. So a lot of research has been done on this part. And the healthcare services, the most important. I must say, even you are social scientist, or you are psychologist, or you are business management expert, you should consider working in the healthcare services, because healthcare is the most prominent sector of research nowadays. No matter which area, if you are looking at their management perspective, if you are looking at their efficiency, effectiveness, if you are looking at any related area which deals with the healthcare services, is welcome by the maximum good journals. So healthcare services is very highlighted area during these days. And you can see the green color, it indicates the research done in the healthcare services perspective. And then the psychology. Although I was thinking psychology would be the most prominent factor where people have done this research, but I can see it is not up to that standard or up to that mark. So mean that there is a lot of possibility doing research in psychology. If being a management scientist, we can do psychology research. That I just explained it to you. The workplace psychology is very important nowadays. If you are going to open the new or go open your workplaces, so what would be the psychological I think encounter which you need to consider for this situation? So how you can prevent trauma, how you can prevent the depression on the workplace because of this COVID, because you can see many people, they behave in a very uncertain way during the pandemic situation. So in that case, you should consider the psychological research in more appropriately. So consider this is another field where you can discuss more and more research opportunities. And then medicine side, effectiveness of medicine, people knowledge, perception, all these are basically other parts of the research themes. And there are many other themes like sustainability, environment, digital applications, technologies, all these are basically areas of research nowadays. But as I mentioned, you can see the psychology, business management, and business in or management in healthcare services is more important theme nowadays. So you can consider doing your research in these themes. Okay. Now, this is very simple themes. I kept it very broader so everybody can understand and make up their mind, and then we can define later on. Now, remember one thing. Whenever you do your research, this is a key tip. Whenever you do your research, please link that research policies or output of that research with any one of these sustainable development goals by UNO. There are 17 goals, and I have already listed all these goals here. Digitalization is one of these. Health and health care is one of that. Poverty, economy, sustainability, biodiversity, all these are part of this 17-point agenda by UNO. So whenever you are doing your research, consider these 17 points, and first, before starting any research, link your research with one of these goals. It will give you added advantage, and many journals are funded by UNO, so they would accept your paper and accept your research in order to publication, because when you do research, the ultimate outcome for us is to publish. So we have to publish that, and we have to spread it more and more. So that's why if you link your research with these 17 goals, it would give you an added advantage, and you can do your publication easily. So consider, even though it is a pandemic situation, but this pandemic situation affected this sustainable development goals at large. So you can consider focusing on those parts which have been affected through your research. For example, education, for example, digitalization, for example, health, for example, workplace. So you should consider all these research areas and try to develop them based on these 17 development goals. Okay, so this is what I can consider the main agenda for your research. Okay, now let's see. I agree, I gave you the research outcome, I gave you different themes where we can do our research, but most probably we need to understand in this time, research collaboration is very important. If you are doing research and you are not collaborating with any other institution or any other country, it means that the impact is not there. So many countries are working together. So I can access this information using their co-authorship details. So if one paper, they have different author from different country, we can consider that this research is output of a collaborative project. So collaborations are very important. Now, researcher, even though you are social scientist or any form of researcher, you cannot work in isolation. So we have to collaborate. We have to open our ideas to others and allow them to refine, work with you, and then it will bring more impact to your research. So collaborations we should consider. But now with the pandemic situation, let me tell you which countries are working more collaboratively with all other countries. So first of all, we can consider United States is the first country, and the most of these collaborations have been done by the United States. So they are working with so many other countries, and then you have UK, Australia, and finally the China, the topmost countries which are basically doing this collaborative research. So not only among them, but also with all other countries. So they are providing funding, they are providing facilitation for other researchers to work on pandemic solutions so they can get maximum benefit out of the research. So that is what the international level scenario for the research. So looking for opportunities is very easy now. So please try to write to any of the researcher in any universities abroad, and even you can ask for funding. They would be happy to collaborate. And if they are not doing it, there is nothing to lose. So we have to do at least we have to do some efforts in this. Okay, so in this area we should put our efforts. So this is collaborative scenario. Let's come to the final point of my discussion. I already explained about the different themes, about the opportunities, about the collaboration opportunities, and major areas where as a social scientist we can do research. But let's see, being an academician, now this is not related to research only now. This is basically related to my personal development and the role I have to play being a teacher to my students and all other society. Because, you know, as I mentioned that this situation will be long lasting. Consider if it is long lasting, we have to train our student to meet the future requirement. And the second thing, even though the pandemic situation is going to solve, or maybe it is going to settle within this year, inshallah, if it is settled, but still the world you are living now is not same the world you were living before the pandemic. So the situation have been changed, and all these changes affect not only the academician's role, but also our personal development also. So we have to train our students, we have to train our kids to face the future. But remember one thing, before training anybody, you have to train yourself. So I will give you an agenda, what new techniques during this situation you have to learn, and then you can use your own techniques to open the new border for you or new opportunities for you. Okay, now we have so many obstacles, we have so many problems, we have so many issues, but this situation brings a lot of opportunities to all of us. It's not just we should consider this situation. The world is not same. It is not like before. The way we communicate is not the same way we were communicating before the pandemic situation. The way we do our work is being changed. Although I'm not going into the economics and all other problems which we are facing, but at a personal level, I feel that there are a lot of opportunities have been unlocked now. Let me give you some of these opportunities which have been unlocked for you. If you consider new business opportunities, even a teacher teaching to a primary class, he can sell his or her courses to all over the world now, because we are digitalized. Half of the population is being connected to the digital technology. So the situation is this: we are led by this pandemic situation to the digital transformation, but this digital transformation brings a lot of opportunities. Remember, in the future, 800 million people will lose their jobs because of this pandemic and because of this digitalization. So many jobs will be replaced by the robot. So more than 800 million. So this is a huge number. If you did not train your students, if you did not train your kids for facing the future, I don't think so there is any possibility for them to survive, because future is going to be tough. Now, with this situation, there is a lot of opportunities for business. We were thinking before the pandemic that we cannot do work from home, but now it is a normal situation. If you cannot come to office, okay, just go home and work. So working from home is the new norm. So it means that it unlocks a lot of opportunities in terms of business, in terms of your personal development. All teachers, they have products to sell. If I am a teacher, I can sell my courses. I can sell my new content, because we are content developer. That part I will cover later on. So means that a lot of opportunities are there in terms of business. A lot of opportunities are there in terms of learning. The way we learn now is not similar the way we learned previously. We were learning in a different way. Now we are learning in a different way. It means that we are using digital technologies at large. Now this is a particular seminar. It can be a classical example of new types of learning. I'm sitting in a different country and I'm communicating with you all, and I'm giving you all information, and you can ask me questions. That is a new normal. So new learning opportunities are there. Accessing to the new or the competent people, the maximum people with the capabilities is not difficult now. So you can reach them, you can send them invitation, you can join them, you can meet them online. Expenses are very low, so you don't need to ask them to come to your institution and then present something. It is now very, very cheap, but it is a very handy tool for a new learning opportunity. Now, we have to use that, consider this situation. And then the world is more open to all. Now, what does it mean? It means that if you do anything online, if you do anything new and market it, the people would more likely to accept it now. Before that, they were not accepting. For example, everybody have YouTube channel now. Before that, nobody, very few people. And now it is accepted. So many of these things are accepted all around the world. It is only need a courage to start your work, to start your communication with these people and sell your product or sell yourself. And even the institutions can get a lot of benefits with this, the new world now. Okay. Now, this caused opportunity beyond boundaries. So no problem where are you sitting, which institution will be working. It means that you can work and you can get your maximum people willing to buy your product, and it is only need to strategize. Now, being a teacher, we have to strategize our contents. We have to strategize our presence on social media, our presence on online platforms, our presence as a teacher, not as a person. I am not asking to share you your food pictures or your birthday pictures. Yes, we do that. That is the primary purpose of social media we are using for now, but now it is changed. Now social media and all these digital technologies are the best medium to market yourself, market your institution, market your subjects, or market your competencies. Let me share an example with you. Last time we were dealing with this situation and we have started online teaching. So I was just thinking, why not starting using YouTube to teach my students rather than just using this webinar. In this webinar, only few people can see me, but if I'm doing it on YouTube, maybe many people are looking at my presentations or my content. Those who are not, they don't know me. So by doing this, I'm not just selling my product, but also I'm selling my competency. So you have to develop content and then you have to market it. So if you have the ability to develop anything new, you can market it. But remember, being a student, being a teacher, or being an academician, we have this ability to generate the content. That is the main part of our understanding. So what I'm talking about is there are a lot of opportunities being an academician. which we can learn and then we can teach to our students, because the world in future is going to be different. So it is your choice whether you want to be the seller or buyer. If you are good, no matter if anyone from America, anyone from UK, they will listen to you. Believe me, if you do your efforts, you can get it done. So you have to set the target. That is what we need to do. So how we can do that? How we can do that? This is important question. I'll just briefly give you some of these skills which you need to learn. This is what I always teach when I am teaching the digital transformation course. So this is something, being a teacher, you have to learn. I'm using this marketing term, but no matter where are you, what are you doing, being a teacher, you have to learn these skills and try to implement it and market your institution, market your departments, market your subjects, and market your students. That is also a possibility. So because if you are doing business in future, you have to be present online. You have to do your self-branding. So that is very important for all the academicians perspective. Because of this pandemic, you have to learn these skills. So let me just tell you, we can categorize ourselves into three things. Whether my technical skills are low, medium, or high. On which category, I will give you some of these tools. So from that, you can learn whether you are low technical skill level, high technical skill level, or medium technical skill level. The objective is to reach the high technical level of expertise, okay? No matter we are social scientists, no matter we are management expert, or no matter we are not computer people, but this is something we have to do. Remember, when I started my career, at that time, computer skills were considered as added advantage. So everybody was asking, okay, do you know how to use Excel? I said, yes. So that was considered my added ability, added advantage. But nowadays, this is your basic skill. If you don't know, no matter how good you are in writing, how good you are in other skills, this skill is mandatory for all of us. We know that we are using it extensively, no matter we are not social scientists, we are not computer scientists, but still we are using it. When we are using it, why not using it for our development purposes, our businesses purposes, and our education purposes also. So that is what you should consider. And then these 5 essential skills, I explain it in different presentations also. So you should understand the digital strategy. You have to make your presence in terms of academician. You have to make your presence online. You have to plan for it. You have to develop a complete digital strategy. Then you have to start digital marketing. You have to be a content developer. That is very important skill for a lecturer. Nowadays, you cannot do this. You just copy slides from other people and bring slides and just change and submit it to your students. No, that is not the way we do the future teaching. The teacher role is more toward the coaching now. So you have to develop the content, no matter how many different books you have to read, but you have to develop your own content, okay? And that is where your, what we can say, dissemination of knowledge will come in. And you are going to be the different. So that is very important for you to develop your content and then you market it online, okay? And then personal branding in terms of a teacher, if you are teaching any particular subject, that subject would be associated with you, okay? Let's say Mr. Shafiq, Dr. Shafiq, he is expert in innovation. Okay, this is in my mind because he developed his personal branding based on the subject. So when you do associate yourself with some particular area of expertise and then do your personal branding on that, that is very important. And then learn application development and analytics. So this is very important tool for nowadays for all academicians, because we can teach on Udemy, we can teach on open learning, we can teach on many other platforms where you are not only teaching, but also you get paid for that. If your content is powerful, every teacher can sell their courses, can sell their products. So it is not only the research. Being an academician, we should focus on both components, research and our teaching, which is mainly dependent on our ability to develop new content and new concept. Okay. Although I'm not saying that you have to develop new theories, or means that you should not follow any particular slides, but you should see what is necessary for my student. For example, we are teaching HRM now. Even now, we are teaching that the similar HRM which we were teaching in 1965. But the HRM is changed now. Many big companies are not using those 6 or 7 steps for hiring. They just use LinkedIn. They just use JobStreet and many other platforms. They are not advertising it properly. They can just, previously they were advertising and the people they come. But now we have all data on LinkedIn. So we can search and we can go there and we can ask them, okay, can you join us? Many of these headhunting, this is the new concept. Digital HRM, this is the new concept. So what we are teaching is maybe not relevant for the future generation. So we should train them for future, not for our past. But unfortunately, what we were doing is we are training them what we learn. We learned in this 20 years ago. But what do you think the world is saying? No, it's changed. So our students, they should learn what is required in future, not present or not past. So that is where your content development capabilities are coming in as a teacher. So that is the whole scenario you should consider. You can learn on more on these components on YouTube and other platforms, but that would be a very handy tool to learn being an academician. So let me just conclude my presentation here. I explained about the recent trends of research during the COVID period, and it will stay longer. That thing you should consider. It is not something it is going to finish very quickly. No, we have to consider this. It may take more time. So we have to train ourselves on this situation, and we have to use this option or opportunity to train ourselves first, and then our students and kids for the future generation. And now the world is very open for research. You can collaborate with different institutions, different universities. They are very open now because you can contact them through email, you can contact them through meeting, webinars and all this. So the world is more open for you. The opportunities are there. A lot of opportunities. Being a developing nation, I'm telling you, this time is super time for all of us to penetrate in the market. Because before that, the big countries like USA, UK, they were not allowing anybody to do business. But now it's open. Nobody cares from where you are. If the product is okay, if your course is suitable for them, they will take it. So consider this situation, broaden up your mind, think bigger and do your efforts. That would be the main message for my presentation. And remember, there are a lot of research areas which are recently developed. Digital psychology, pandemic situation caused everybody to see on the computer. So that's why digital psychology become digital health. So try to see in multidisciplinary nature and try to see different types of the problems which around you, not just what you have learned in your PhD or not what you have learned in your MS or other maybe MBA or no. You should learn what is required for the future. That is very important. And being an academician, we should use these mediums and this digital transformation in order to get maximum benefit out of it. Okay, thank you very much. And you can find me more on these YouTube channels and Facebook pages. And thank you very much for listening me. I will welcome any question at the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Imran, for your insights. And it was very nice to have your inputs on research directions, research themes, sustainable development goals, collaboration requirement, academic challenges, and the skill sets you mentioned for personal development. So without wasting any time, I will move towards Dr. Sobia. Dr. Sobia Iram for her insights. So she can present her have thoughts on the topic, and then we can quickly move to the question and answer session. Dr. Sobia.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Good morning from Bahrain and good evening or good afternoon from other parts. I'm Dr. Sobia Iram here. Thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity for joining this webinar and joining this wonderful community of researchers from my homeland, Pakistan. I'm Dr. Sobia Iram from University of Bahrain. I'm working in University of Bahrain as an assistant professor and also working in their quality assurance and accreditation department. So today I'll be sharing with you some of my findings or thoughts about the topic related to COVID-19. What are the challenges for the academia? What are most emerging research themes on which we can work? And what is the role of academicians in this environment? So let's first talk about some of the challenges and opportunities for research during this COVID-19 period. As you all know that we all of us have been experiencing this COVID-19 situation for the last 8 or 9 months, and the world has changed. It is a human social crisis, or economic crisis, I must say. And as Dr. Imran has also said, that it has impacted a lot of every area of our human life. And especially, what I also think that the most important aspect which it has affected is the psychology of human beings. So this has a profound effect on all aspects of our life. So how we can say that it has not left any effect on the research institutions as well. So, being a part of the society, research institutes, they are also affected by COVID-19. So, I will just share with you some of the challenges which the researchers or the research institutes are facing in this COVID situation. Also, wherever there is a challenge, there arises opportunity. So, we'll be discussing some uh, main challenges and some opportunities which this COVID environment, obviously, with this COVID pandemic has provided. So the basic, you can say that basic challenges which are being faced by the world or by the researchers are, first of all, this due to this COVID situation, the researchers, they were kept away from their labs. They cannot have access to labs due to social distancing and all other preventive measures. So because of this challenge, a lot of projects, they got delayed. And as you know that the research projects, they are being funded by the agencies. So a lot of research projects got delayed. So this was the first biggest challenge which was being faced by the research labs or the researchers around the world. And the second thing is that because of the social distancing, the cost of research project, it has risen quite steadily, because you can see that during the research or for any research project, uh, people have to collaborate closely. But due to this COVID situation, due to preventive measures, now social distancing is the norm, and you cannot meet so many people as you want. That's why this social distancing it has also added to the cost of the projects. And because of all these things, the most important thing which was through which the researchers got affected was the funding opportunities. Funding opportunity, because you all know that the research projects of the universities, they got funding from industry, they got funding from external resources, and most of the research universities around the world, they have a main source of funding coming in from international students. And due to this pandemic situation, you can say that it is being said that the international student enrollment is expected to decline because of the travel restrictions, because of the visa restrictions, and so many other things. So that's why the funding opportunities, or you can say that the funding landscape has become very grave, because now industry is also facing economic downturn. So the funding opportunities for the universities has become very scarce. So these are, in my opinion, some of the main challenges which the universities or the researchers, they are facing due to the COVID-19 situation. But as a human being, there is always a ray of hope. So I can say that alongside with with these challenges, there are some opportunities as well. This pandemic situation, this has given us some good opportunities, like we have discovered some very new way of working, like moving into a digital world. We have now the world has become more closer, as like you can give I can give you the example of this webinar. Like we are facing each other while sitting at the different parts of the world. So we have discovered new ways of working. Universities are pooling in and sharing resources on the collaborative funding as well. Now, some public trust has increased on the. You can say that public trust is increased in science and its role in the research. Now, there is a possibility that more funding will come into scientific research projects. And also research institutes, previously they were doing research on their own separate domains, but now due to this pandemic situation, these research institutes are collaborating with each other for research projects, because that way they can do interdisciplinary research, they can pool in the resources, and then research can be much more enriched by these collaborative efforts. So this is a very huge opportunity. Collaboration is a very huge opportunity which this pandemic situation has created. Also, the one more important opportunity which came into light due to this pandemic situation is now the universities or the research institutes, they have changed themselves very rapidly, because as you know that universities traditionally they have been very slow to change. So before COVID-19, shifting towards digitalization or shifting towards online learning or online teaching would be a very difficult task. But as we have seen that due to this urgent or this emergency situation, this has been done within few weeks. So COVID-19 has given the institutes and research universities a chance to reimagine that how they can move forward, how they can embrace change more rapidly. So I think this is a huge opportunity for the research universities or for the research labs. So let me talk about, because our webinar is about some of the challenges or some of the main themes regarding the research in this COVID-19 situation. So I would like to talk about COVID-19 research in the field of business and management. While looking into some databases like Web of Science or Scopus or other databases, there is quite a large number of research which is found within just a few months of pandemic. Like Dr. Imran has just shared with you that around 50,000 research articles were being published within a year. So in-depth analysis of these databases, it reveals some of the main emerging themes of business and management, and I would like to just focus on those themes with regards to business and management, because we all are having the same background of business and management. So the main research themes in business and management are four basic themes. Number one is the overall impact of COVID-19 on business. A lot of research articles have been found in the overall impact of COVID-19 on the business. The second main theme which emerged is the COVID-19 and technology. Now, technology adoption or new technologies or digitalization, everything comes under this COVID-19 and technology. Then the third main theme about business management, which emerged during this situation, is COVID-19 and the supply chain management. Because as you all know that now the supply chain management has been transformed. It has gone digitalized as compared to the physical supply chain management. Now, so many things have been digitalized. So the fourth research and business research team in business is COVID-19 and the service industry, because the service industry, like hospitality, tourism, and hoteling industry, all this has been impacted by the COVID-19 situation. So these four themes I have found as emerged in this situation. There are some sub themes as well. I'll be discussing with you all those sub themes shortly, but these are the four main themes of research in the business and management field, which has emerged during the COVID 19 situation. And if we analyze these four main themes, we can see that which country has conducted the more research. If you can see on this map, the documents by every country is United States, China, UK, Italy, India, Spain, Canada, France, Germany, and Australia. These are the countries. Like most of the research was conducted in United States. Then on the second number, there is China, which is conducting research on this. I'm just talking about this overall research of COVID-19. So US tops the list in research, then comes China, then UK, and so on. You can see. Unfortunately, I cannot find Pakistan here. So we need to, being a Pakistani, we need to work on this scenario. You can see India over there, but not Pakistan. So you can say that research scenario in Pakistan needs to be mobilized more. So let's talk about some of the sub themes. There are, as I talked to you, like there are four main themes in research which emerged in the business and management field. And the sub themes they can be more than 18, but what I found are more some 18 sub themes, emerging themes of research in business and management. The first is impact of COVID-19 on business. So on the effect of COVID-19 in business, you can find research related to crisis going on. You can find research related to entrepreneurship, some policy implications, or on the you can say COVID-19 and decision making, COVID-19 and risk management, supply chain dynamics, complexity of crisis management, e-loyalty, geographic information system. All these type of research comes under the impact of COVID-19 on business. Then comes the second theme, that is impact of COVID-19 on value chain. So here you can find research related to consumer culture, corporate culture, e-commerce, digital transformation, leadership, virtual working, well-being. All these research can come under the impact of COVID-19 on the value chain. Then comes the COVID-19 and startups, because due to COVID-19, different startups they emerged. So you can say you can find areas like entrepreneurship, areas like business policy, areas like how to deal the crisis management. These type of research areas you can find under the COVID-19 and startups. Then under the sub theme of impact of COVID-19 on the trade, you can find articles related to trade policy. You can find articles related to different stakeholders in the COVID-19 trade scenario. And what are the obstacles? Most importantly, what are the obstacles which are being faced in this COVID-19 situation? Then the impact of the next theme or sub theme is impact of COVID-19 on employment. And you all know that COVID-19 has and had a huge impact on employment. So many people got unemployed. So all the articles or research related to employment, unemployment, underemployment, and even new horizons which came up, like working at home. All these impacts of COVID-19 on employment, you can find the research on under this sub theme. Then COVID-19 and risk communication. Uh, Research like risk perception, risk communication, risk in misinformation, specifically the misinformation, because whenever the situation, pandemic situation like this occurs, the misinformation also surfaces. So all these type of researches or uncertainty, how to deal with uncertainty, and all these type of research you can find under the COVID-19 and risk management or risk communication sub theme. Also, then the COVID-19 and big data and advanced analytics under this sub theme. Some of the most you can say that technical type of papers you can find, like big data analytics, you forecasting, deep learning, sustainable development, sustainable operations. These type of research you can find under this sub-theme. So then COVID-19 and data-driven decision making. So in under this sub theme, you can find from how businesses they take local decisions. What is real world data sets? So how decision making can be done in the businesses in this COVID-19 situation. So all these research fields you can see emerging in under this sub theme. And then comes COVID 19 and emerging technologies. As we all know that due to COVID-19 situation, so many new technologies they have emerged. Now we have to master those technologies because it's now the survival of the fittest. So machine learning technology, artificial intelligence, healthcare analytics, ethics, robustness, standard practice, blockchain technology, all these type of researches comes up under this sub-theme. Another important sub-theme is COVID-19 and infodemics. Actually, infodemics, you can find research related to retrieval of the information, that how information can be retrieved using different databases. So how it can be interpreted, what type of search engines are there, how you can use those search engines, and all these type of researches you can find under the COVID-19 and infodemics. So it's a very interesting part of it's a very interesting sub theme of research if you are into a multidisciplinary type of research, like you are doing research on um, uh, information sciences as well as management sciences. So it will be more interesting for you. Then COVID-19 and socio-technical transformations. So how you can say that socio-technical systems work. All such type of research you can find under this sub-theme. Then supply chain impact of COVID-19 on inventory management. All the research related to supply chain management, supply chain risk management, economics and social effects, inventory control, inventory management, all these researchers you can find under this sub-theme. Then impact of COVID-19 on supply chain resilience. So how the supply chain managed to survive under COVID-19 situation? Like what are the supplier roles now? Why, how supply chain resilience works? What is the viability of supply chain in this pandemic situation? Such type of research can be done under this sub theme of COVID-19, impact of COVID-19 on supply chain resilience. Then impact of COVID-19 on travel and tourism. And what I think is that this is a very important area of research because COVID-19 has severely impacted the service industry, like travel, tourism, hospitality industry. So the mobility services, the tourism industry, how the collaborations, what are the uncertainties, how they are affected, what can be the solutions. You can do all these type of research under these areas. Then impact of COVID-19 on education. We are from the education sector, so who else can know that what is the impact of COVID-19 on education? We have transformed to online education, how online education transformed our lives, what is working from home, how information technology has transformed our lives. So what should be the emergency policies in this scenario? You can do a lot of research in this area because it is directly related to us. Then COVID-19 and you can say that essential services. Some of the essential services in COVID-19 means service industry, healthcare policies, and how the performances can be improved in this type of industry. So these are some of the themes under which you can do. These are some of the emerging themes in the COVID-19 situation in which you can do research, and you can find a very good research articles during this span of this 1 year from end of 2019 till today. So now I would like to share with you some of the issues, because these were the themes I have, which I have talked about the business and management. Now I would like to shed some light on the issues related to human behavior research, because being a management students and management teachers, we also do research related to human behavior. So there are, as you know, that human behavior research is more towards collecting data from the people. So there are some serious issues concerning the human behavior research in this pandemic situation. Mostly the data collection is very now in the near future, it is very unlikely that the data collection will turn to that old practices. Now you cannot meet so many people because of the social distancing and all these things. So data collection can be done using different available technological platforms. So this is the new, not very new, but it's a challenge to shift from old paradigm to new one. Then a significant portion of human behavior research now, it is being more focused on the effect of the pandemic on human behavior. Previously, human behavior was being studied in different scenarios, but now it has been transformed into effect of human. You can say that effect of pandemic on this human behavior. What type of different human behaviors we can experience during the time of these crises, like stress, like you can say isolation, like depression. So these type of human behaviors are most on the these are mostly on the psychological side. So now the human behavior research has more transformed into psychological side. Then an issue which has emerged is that when this pandemic situation occurred, most of the well-renowned, you can say that publishers like Elsevier and Springer, Nature, all these, they announced free, you can say that free special issues, so that they welcome the research from all parts of the world to get published. And this caused a very hastily and unplanned conducted studies on part of human behavior research, because when people they find it, you can say that researchers, they feel hard pressed to not miss the opportunity and then study something hastily and then conduct the study. And in this scenario, most of them they just didn't you can say that they didn't try very hard to follow the protocols, proper protocols. So this can be one problem with the hastily planned and conducted studies, because the surveys can be overlapping, and they most of the surveys are done on the same population, like university students or people like that. So this is the biggest issue in the human behavior research. So uh, especially the surveys who are using the non-probability and convenience sampling, and also they can be, you can say that they can come up with some biased and misleading findings. So for these type of human behavior research, I think there is a need to define some strict protocols, so that all these protocols should be adhered to before publishing such type of human behavior research. So there are some recommendations for human behavior research. If it will be more good for the researchers and for the publishers, for the research institutes, if there should be a collaboration among different institutes, among the universities. Because as Dr. Imran has also told you, that if you are doing research without collaboration, then it won't be having a huge impact. So large scale collaboration, it should be done. Some incentives, it can take incentives from the funders, different funding agencies, and also different academic institutions. Rather than doing the fragmented research, the collaborative research would be one option for the human behavior research. Then research which is focused on the pandemic, there one thing must be done, that priorities should be set, and priorities need to be identified before conducting the studies, that either the study is going to have any impact or not, or this is just another study. So conducting in this regard for human behavior research, conducting systematic reviews is a very good option, because by conducting systematic reviews you come to know that what areas have been explored, what uh, you can say that what results are there, and what areas needs to be explored more. Some underexplored areas, they come into light when you do the systematic review. So the systematic review is a one good option which should be done in the human behavior research. Like I can give you the example of effect of or impact of COVID-19 on psychology. While doing a systematic review about impact of psychology on impact of COVID-19 on psychology, I found that most of the research was being done on impact of COVID-19 and on psychology of human beings, but it was mostly related to healthcare workers, because they were on the front line. So most of the studies were done on them. But what is the impact of a pandemic on the psychology of, you can say, expatriates? There was no study about it. In the whole Web of Science and Scopus database, I found in this whole year, I found just one study on the effect of pandemic on the psychology of the expatriates. Because being myself as an expatriate, I can very well understand that how this can destroy your psychology when you are all alone and when you are facing so many difficulties. So I recommend that for human behavior research, if you are into human behavior research, you must do a systematic review first, and then find out some of the areas that need more research, so that you can do some a good type of, you can come up with a good research. Then some of the challenges I would like to discuss here, some of the challenges for academia in this new normal. As you all know that this pandemic situation, this has changed our lives without our consent, because our lives were changed overnight due to this pandemic situation. So it has dramatically impacted the academia as well, because all the academia, they have to shift to online, and it was an emergency call to shift online. So people have to there was a it was a huge challenge for the universities, for the management of the universities, how to transform everything online, and then how to impart training on to the students, to the faculty as well. So in this scenario, the main challenge is that the future of higher education should needs rethinking in many ways, because for so many years it would be difficult to return to the old ways. So for the new normal, how universities can going to handle these situations, how exams should be conducted more transparently, and how more there are so many digital platforms available. So which platform is suitable for your institute or for your needs? So there are so many challenges for the academia and this new normal. Then the shifting from face to face to distance learning, it is also having its own challenges, because especially in countries like Pakistan and other developing countries as well, there is a lot of challenges, because people are dispersed over a huge geographical areas. In some geographical areas, the digital technologies are not having their reach. So students are facing difficulties, even teachers are facing this difficulties. So this shift of academia from face to face to distance learning is the biggest challenge in academia. So access to technical infrastructure is also a challenge for developing countries like us, because we lack somehow the competencies and for distance learning. So there is a need to train our people, train our faculty, train our institutes, so that we can so that the transition can be much more easy. And then also, as we discussed previously, that more importantly, the research has been affected, because there are restrictions due to COVID-19. There are a lot of restrictions on international movement. So different symposiums, different international, you can say, conferences, seminars, all of these have been somehow postponed or cancelled. But thanks to technology, most of them were shifted online. But still, there are a lot of challenges in hosting all these events online. So scientific projects, mostly the scientific projects, they are at the risk of being delayed. So these are few of the challenges which the academia is facing. Now the opportunities are also there, because some what I think is that a specific skill set is required for academia to adjust into this new normal. The first important skill set is the leadership skill, because being a teacher, you are a leader, you can transform the nations. So leaders can see opportunity in crisis. So you have the opportunity, as Dr. Imran has also discussed, that you have the opportunities to create new content. You have the opportunity to sell your skill set. You have the opportunity to sell your content. You have the opportunity to uh, positively transform the minds of your students. So this leadership skill, I think, is the first most important skill needed to survive in this pandemic situation. Then the flexibility and adaptability. Being a human being, it's important for everyone, but for teachers, they have the skill to just start a blended approach, because we have to shift online overnight. So flexibility and adaptability should be there, to understand the needs of the students, to understand the need of the time, to understand the technology, everything you need to understand. You need to know, you need to be flexible and adaptable. And also technology or the technical skills is important, because for surviving in this pandemic situation, or post coronavirus world, uh, it's important to be tech savvy. So thanks to pandemic, there are so many online courses available, there are so many online platforms which can we can make use of them, and we can equip ourselves with new technology. Then the most important, another important skill which is needed is communication and emotional intelligence, because excellent communication skill and emotional intelligence is needed to make a connection with your students. Because as a teacher, we need to know about the emotion, about emotion and about thinking of our students, that how they are going through this traumatic situation. So emotional intelligence and communication is another important skill, in my opinion, which is needed for academia. And above all, creativity, because for dealing in the crisis, you have to be creative in terms of motivation, in terms of emotion, in terms of being adaptable, in terms of being tech savvy. You need to transform your day-to-day life, how to transform that burden which you are facing, like coping up with working at home, and also going through the physical trauma yourself, but still you are not losing hope, and you are imparting knowledge to the student. So to being creative is a important skill set which is needed in today's world. So this was a small part from my side. That's all from my side, and I welcome any questions on your part. I hope you have got some insight into some different themes of research available for you in this situation in the business and management field. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my ideas with you all. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Our player, Dr. Sobia, thank you for a wonderful insight, especially focusing the four directions of COVID-19 in business, COVID-19 in technology, COVID-19 in supply chain management, and COVID-19 in service industry with the 19 sub-theme. That was an excellent presentation, and it was wonderful. Now it's time for our very patient participants, and I hope they enjoyed these presentations. So their questions are welcome for this session. There you can write your questions in the chat box as well.
Dr. Shafiq, if I may start.
Yes, Dr. Mudassir. Sure.
First of all, thank you very much, Dr. Nahan and Dr. Sobia, for coming. I think the insights you have shared that have been very useful, and I believe they would be helping us researchers in the days to come. So
Thank you, Dr.
my
Mudassir.
humble thanks to both of you for coming. That since you both of you work abroad and in the higher education institutes, so do you think there is a paradigm shift in terms of research funding because the finances are limited, as we all know? So, or is the other way around that there has been an elevation in terms of research funding? So, can you please both shed some light on this question? Thank you very much.
Yeah. So over to Dr. Imran and Dr. Sobia.
Okay.
This is, I think,
Thank
more.
you. Okay, let me answer this question first. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Saab. First of all, let me say hi because it's a long time I have not been with my friend. He's our colleague, so he done PhD with us. So thank you very much for inviting us, Doctor. So in my opinion, paradigm shift is already being done. It is not going to be shift. It is already done. The situation is this: many institutions, many universities, and many countries, they have already planned for 5 years next. Even if I'm looking into my own institution, so we have funding, but the previous funding has been discontinued, and the new themes and new collaborative opportunities have been encouraged. Recently, I was just discussing with one of the association in it was in Spain. They were looking for collaborative opportunities because the vaccination is a process where you have to collaborate with the results from the different universities, different medical, I think, companies, and also the different countries. So it is not a very simple work. So this situation led us to the importance of the research. So I think the situation is very much favorable to us if we find the right opportunity and do our homework and contact with the right person. I think there should be no problem in finding research funding. Even all the publishers, they are giving you free publication, even though open access, and they are also giving you a lot of funding. So we have to apply, and I think the possibilities are more than the previous. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Imran. Yeah, Dr. Sobia, if you want to say anything.
I just want to endorse Dr. Imran because nowadays in this situation, collaborative efforts are being done on part of universities. Because if I talk about my institute, they are also looking for the collaborative funding opportunities for different institutes around the world. So collaboration is the key thing. But as Dr. Imran has said that it's not like that you cannot find funding. You can find funding, but if you can find it through any collaborative project, it would be more easy for the researchers to find funding for their research projects if they are having a collaboration from different institutes or from different part of the world. Then collaboration is the key.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sobia. So if do we have any other question from the audience?
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Shafiq. My name is Dr. Mubin Rahman, and I have a question if you allow me to ask, please.
Yeah, please, Dr. Mubin. And after that, we will have, I think, we have Sundas also. So
Okay.
first, Dr. Mubin. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, both the presenters, for this wonderful session. And I would just like to ask a question from Dr. Imran Qureshi, because I have been searching through his wonderful research profile. Uh, uh, I mean, both of you have been an insight on the Pakistani academia because both of you have been in Pakistan. And that's why this question arises that what are the key gaps that you consider we should focusing on, we should be capitalizing on to improve our research skills and research profile? Because you both of you know the culture of Pakistani universities, and now both of you are serving in some foreign universities. So what is the gap? What are the key areas in which we, the faculty of Pakistani universities, can capitalize on to increase our research profile, to increase the presence of our research that can help, you know, in our personal grooming as well as the academic profile? Thank you.
And let me add as well that Dr. Mubin is one of our best researcher from the ZS.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mubin. So basically, this question is, I can answer you in two different ways. One is a diplomatic way, and the other one is very straightforward. So I would like to go with the straightforward result or answer. In my opinion, the first thing we lack is consistency. We ask our students to produce high quality papers for the first time they are writing. This is not the process. The process is step by step. You ask them to write, no matter where you are going to publish it with the low quality journal, it is not an issue. Just start, because without starting, you cannot achieve the highest point. So for me, when I deal with my student, I just ask them to write and improve, write and improve. And then there would be some time you will see your profile is growing, your publications are published in Impact Factor Journal. The key is consistency. You should work and work and work. That is it. And other thing, because our system, especially promotion and our PhD grant system, it's focus on either you publish in HEC recognized journals or you publish in ISI Impact Factor. Now we open for Scopus also. But it is difficult for some time. That's why the students and faculty members, many people, they are looking for short term or shortcuts. So that situation is not good in our country. So if we are working, then allow our student to make mistakes, allow them to learn, and then if you are learning in this way, that is a long-lasting learning, and you can teach your student as well. So that is my suggestion. That is the way I did my research. So I just do my research and publish it anywhere. And then later on, when it is required, I go with the impact factor and other publication. But the key is consistency. That is my answer to your question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I think we should take the opinion of Dr. Sobia as well.
In my opinion, sir, actually you have to start from somewhere. So every long journey starts from the first step. So like Dr. Imran said, you have to start it from somewhere. Don't think that on the first go you will be going to publish your research in a very high impact factor journal, but still you have to start it from somewhere. So starting from Scopus Index and then polishing your abilities, and with the passage of time you will get to know many tools and techniques to polish your abilities, and then it's an ongoing process of learning is an ongoing process, and there is no shortcut to success. So the key is to keep going and just start from by taking a first step, and you are already a very good researcher, so you know that it takes a lot of time, but still you have to keep going, and inshallah everything is will be fine.
If you
Thank you.
Dr. Zubia, if you have finished, may I ask?
Yes, sir, sure.
If I extend the question of Dr. Mubin, your answer is very, very relevant for starters, those who are going to start the research. But people like Dr. Mubin, who already have a good research profile, and other doctors who have, to a certain extent, a profile of research, if they want to advance and they want to achieve, like Dr. Imran Qureshi and Dr. Sobia have, a research profile of international level, of that much of impact factor publications. For me, I think the best way is collaboration. How you think collaboration can be really can be done? Because no, that's the way. Pakistani researchers, good researchers like Dr. Mubin and so on, and you people are sitting outside Pakistan. You have already established collaborations. So if I ask a very straight question, like Zabis Islamabad, people are there, doctors are there, researchers are there, and if they want to have collaborative researchers with Dr. Sobia, with Dr. Imran, how it can be done? Let me have a straightforward question. Please, sir.
Okay, sir, let me answer this question, because this is something I always want to listen.
Dr. Mubin, kya ye aapke dil ki awaaz?
From institutions especially. The first thing,
Sir, I wanted to ask the same question actually.
डॉक्टर साहब थैंक यू बिल्कुल ये वो अंडरलाइन क्वेश्चन था जो शायद मैं पूछते हुए हिचकिचा रहा था, एंड यू रियली हेल्प इन आस्किंग द क्वेश्चन. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
No, the situation is this: the profile consists of three major components. When you do your profiling, one is your profile on your publons, Google Scholar. Google Scholar is very basic. Yes, Publons, ResearchGate, all these mediums are very much useful to populate your work, to market your work, and finally to find collaborations. So that is not an issue because this is the way we did this. And the experienced researcher, they should take other researchers with them. That is something we always prefer. And if you remember, Dr. Shafiq is already witnessed this. We invited so many Pakistani institutions on our conferences for just for collaborations. So many researchers, they came, they visited us, but unfortunately, this collaboration was not successful in any case because the objectives are different. So if your objectives are primarily focused on research and you can put your efforts, the world is open for you. I don't think so there is any problem. We are always open. We are present on Facebook. You can contact me anytime. I know, although I respond a little late, but I must respond to everybody. So that is not an issue. And not only this, we have access to a very large network of researchers, more than 10,000 researchers from 42 countries. So it is not only us, it is a big network. So if anybody is interested, we are more than welcome and we can do all the collaborative effort. But the key is, again, if you are willing to work with other institutions or other things, you have to be present on the social media, especially the ResearchGate and Publon. Publon is the main profile for now if you want to do your collaborative work, because it is not only for your publication, it is for your review and editorial record. So that is also part of your research profile. It is not only publication. Now there is an index, we call it G index. Okay, so G index and R index, there are two other indexes, not only just H and I index, because we are looking for your editorial record, we are looking for your reviewer record also. So a researcher contribution is not just publication and getting his work cited, but also contributing back to the society in terms of reviewing and editorial work. So this is how Publons is working. And if you manage this, I don't think so there would be any problem. And for the institutional collaborations, sir, we are always open. I can do any type of MOU. We are open for any type of MOU or letter of intent with our institution. And the same Dr. Sobia already mentioned that they are also looking for. So we have to work together. And that is, I think there is no issue with doing this. So anybody want to collaborate, we are okay and we are more than welcome. I will extend all my possible options for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Before I request Dr. Sobia, Dr. Asif, I request you do it on war footings, this MOU with the University of Dr. Imran and with the University of Dr. Sobia. Do it on war footing. Dr. Asif, thank you very much. Dr. Sobia, your point of view.
Yes, sir. My point of view is also same because, as I mentioned earlier, our university is also looking for collaborative MOUs and collaboration with other institutes, and I'll be more than happy to arrange any of such type of collaborative activity with any of Pakistani university like Zabist or any good university. So whatever opportunities we are having, we can collaborate, and I can arrange for your meetings with our college or with our university. No problem for that. You can just let me know that on which fronts you want to collaborate, either on faculty development, on student exchange, on research, whatever it is. And we can talk to our institute and we can do MOUs or whatever collaboration is possible.
Let me explain a bit about the MOU process here. It will start with letter of intent. So first we have to agree upon something, and we should prepare a letter of intent. Then we can have a series of meetings. So then we will reach up to a point where we should finalize the agreement. And then within 1 year after that agreement would be finalized, we should mature the understanding and do all possible points. So if we achieve that, then we go with the MOU. So MOU is not direct, that is the final outcome.
Yes.
And there are other research opportunities. We have collaborative research option, we call it matching grant. In that matching grant, we can offer like 50% from our side and 50% from the other institution, and we can develop a pool of that money that will be consumed for any research and development project. So that is also possible. And student and faculty exchange opportunities are always there. So there is no problem with this, any kind of MOU. But it will start with the letter of intent.
Dr. Sobia, this is Dr. Asif. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay. Dr. Imran and Dr. Sobia, thank you very much for intellectually stimulating discourse. And there are a lot many new directions and opportunities. I would just like to focus on one of the important aspects that you have highlighted during the course of your presentation, and that is the new skill set that need to be focused on under prevalent circumstances. You will appreciate that under emerging environment, we need new approaches with regard to the new skill set. But when it comes to the planning and introducing those competency-based skill set, there are a lot of organizational issues that come into its way. I would just call them some of the bottlenecks, some of the problems, because we need to pursue a holistic approach, starting from our organization vision, mission, the competency that we have identified, and ultimately it needs to be incorporated in our curriculum and the learning outcomes. I ask both of you that, having knowledge of Pakistani education system as well as where you are at this point of time, how we can effectively move in this direction, despite the facts that we anticipate many impediments in our way. Thank you very much.
Okay, I would like to ask Dr. Imran if you can add into this, because you are having more experience than me. You can.
Okay. Let me explain this. Basically, what I learned here is a bit different than what we were doing in our Pakistani universities. Although I'm not comparing anything, because we are surrounded by the circumstances and the cultural issues. So that's why what we are doing is absolutely correct for that situation. But now we have a small type of objectives every year, which we always missing in our academia in Pakistan. So let's say the current situation is pandemic situation. So immediately their universities have given us target for the pandemic situation. This is your new target. And the previous one, obviously, the university has long-term objective, but these objectives can be changed anytime, because the flexibility is the key to success nowadays. In this situation, everything moved to digitalization. So there was an ongoing debate how you are going to conduct the classes. Although we know this is the way we are going to conduct the classes, but there was proper SOPs, proper detailed discussion were conducted on the how we are going to assess our student, because which are the gray areas, because online we were not prepared for that. And I hope so none of our institutions were prepared for that, but there are so many issues, internet connectivity, other issues were there. So what they did, they conducted a short-term plan for this. And now this plan is going to be extended for the future. Now they are open, they started, we call it a global classroom. So the global classroom concept is this: they started when they learn this new skill, when they learn this digital or online classes, now they extend it. The digital classroom is transformed into global classroom. So anyone from anywhere can register, and we can ask anyone from the world, the best teacher in the world, to teach that subject. It is not required he should or she should come to our institution. And then, so means that the flexibility and adaptability is the key for the institutions. For individual level, I have already mentioned that the 5 key skills are required for future. For most importantly, you have to digitalize yourself. And not only we should focus on our personal branding on the social media, but also being an academician, we have to sell our content. If you are not producing any content, it is difficult for you. You are not going to learn. So these skill sets are very much required, and institutions should be more adaptable. They should quickly respond to the situation, and these short-term plans should lead to the long-term planning, which may be not same as we were doing in the past. So your long-term plan, obviously, they are going to change also. So that is what we are experiencing here. I hope so. Our Pakistani institutions are also doing the same, and this is the only way we should respond to the situation.
If I can add into that, I can just talk about scenario here in University of Bahrain. Actually, sir, the main issue was embracing change, and you know that embracing change is never easy. But as Dr. Imran has said that this change has to be accepted. We have to be flexible and we have to be adaptable. So here, what I experience is that it was a change overnight. So what I have seen, being in their quality assurance department, I have seen that they work, the higher management of the university, they work day and night to come up with the workable SOPs to transform everything or digitalize everything overnight. And there was not a very long term planning, it was a short plan to be implemented, and they implemented it overnight. And in this scenario, they have imparted trainings to the faculty. They have even digitalized everything. Previously, they were thinking about that, and when it came, the pandemic situation came, they just left that thinking and they implemented at once. So it's about the higher management. They have to come up with emergency solutions and they have to implement it on time. So what they have done is they came up with the short term plans and they implemented it, and now they have extended those plans to 2 years ahead. They have already planned for 2 or 3 years after this pandemic. So the main thing, I think the basic role is of the higher level, top level management. They worked very quickly, and they quickly gave the plan to each and every person, and they have to just embrace the change with no, you can say that you cannot say no. You have to change. You have to be adaptable.
Dr. Sobia and Dr. Imran, I am just very much pleased to share with you the Zabist experience of digital transformation. We were told on 13th of March that all universities are closed. And you will not believe that on 14th of March, we have put our transformation in place. That we had all digital classes. We almost in our department run 250 courses in management science department. And we had gone for each and every course online within just one night. But that effort only materialized that when we had anticipated that what is about to come, what are the experiencing of European countries and what is the experience of United States. And based on that, lot of the forward-looking and proactive approach was put in place. Faculty, staff, everybody joined. And during those 2 or 3 months, we worked on that. And this is how this digital transformation has taken place. All our young faculty, see, they are very quick to adapt. Those like me who are not very young, they had a team of support staff, like, you see, like IT people, like academic people, so who were not computer savvy. See, they were provided all see the support. So this is the process of digital transformation. And right at the outset, we have worked out on different scenarios. And one of the scenarios on which the strategy was formulated subsequently had included that the entire 220, we are going to go, see, this digital and online learning. And if things improve, okay, we can go for a mix of face-to-face and online learning. And this has extended into 2021. So this is the approach that Zabist Islamabad campus and Zabist Karachi is pursuing at this point of time. But my only concern is that we really need to have a forward-looking approach. We really need to have capacity building of our faculty members, of staff, and most importantly, we have got to take our students on board. And the philosophy of engagement and interactive approach. But generally, you see the philosophies followed in educational institutions, especially within the context of Pakistan, that students tend to reach out to us. But majority of our students who have a connective problems, we have worked out all the procedure and processes put into place, the coordinators, the faculty, they themselves used to reach out to the students. And as a result of that, during our final assessment, we have, Alhamdulillah, 99% attendance rate. That's the people they appeared in the final assessment. So we are pretty sure about this thing that we really need to have a change. And this particular change need to have a new mindset. वो जो हमारा जो mindset है वो okay, change would come, everything has to go to change, we get used to the old way of thinking. But I think as a member of academic community, we need to be resilient. We need to be very flexible. We need to anticipate that how we can change ourselves. And every new day is going to offer us opportunity as well as challenge. It is on us as an individual whether we leverage it as a challenge or we use it as an opportunity for us. And I'm positive that all members who have joined us, they would be having similar experience, but being in head of department and fully involved into the strategy formulation and its implementation down to the students level. Since I was involved, I just wanted to share with you, because we are talking of digital transformations all along. And Alhamdulillah, we also shared our all this readiness in 8 to 9 different areas with the HEC, and we are placed very, amongst that top university that has undertaken this digital transformation on a very short notice. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I must say congratulations to you on this, and I don't have any doubt because you have such a competent team like Dr. Mubin, Dr. Shafiq is there, and most of all, you are young and younger than all those 25 or 26 year old, because it's just a number. You are so much enthusiastic, so I can see that energy, and that is something you need to lead people, and that is what you already have. So I think so you will go with so many changes soon, and inshallah you will get it done. But the thing is, sir, one thing is you have to capitalize this situation also. Now you have developed that capabilities. Now just go beyond the boundaries of Pakistan. So try to, that is what we are doing here. We develop that capabilities. Now we are trying to capitalize on it. So that need a proper strategy and obviously a leadership like you. So I hope so our institution will do a lot good in future, inshallah. And many congratulations on this transformation. This was really a challenging task.
Thank you very much.
I must appreciate the team of Zabist Islamabad particularly. Very energetic, very proactive. Credit goes to the leadership and to the entire team. And the result is before us. Alhamdulillah, we are at par. And as Dr. Imran, you recommended that we have to move ahead from where we are at this point of time. And inshallah, we can. We have capacity, we have team. You have showed us a good direction, and inshallah, we definitely follow the footprints, your footprints, inshallah.
Thank you so much, all of the participants, and thank you so much, our panelists and everyone. I think we are we have limited time actually for this for this webinar. There are many things to talk, and I hope we will get time again by Dr. Imran and Dr. Sobia. I will request our respected Dean is here, our respected HOD is here for their concluding remarks and their vote of thanks, so we can formally close the session. Thank you.
मैं कंक्लूड इस तरह से, डॉक्टर आसिफ अगर आपकी इजाजत है.
Is mine.
सर, मुझे अच्छे लोगों से मुलाकात करना और उनसे दोस्ती करना अच्छा लगता है, और मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ डॉक्टर आसिफ आपका, आपकी टीम का, कि आपने मुझे 2 नए दोस्तों से मेरी मुलाकात करा दी. मैं चाहूँगा कि हम इस रिलेशनशिप को एक्सटेंड करें. बहैसियत पाकिस्तानी मेरी दुआ है कि अल्लाह आप लोगों को और तरक्की दे, आप जहाँ हैं वहाँ से बहुत आगे जाएं, और अपने पीछे अपने जो कंट्रीमैन, जो आपके जो पाकिस्तानी हैं, उनको भी रखें. ये मेरी दिल से दुआ है. बहुत शुक्रिया आप लोगों का. आप लोगों ने न सिर्फ टाइम दिया, बल्कि जो चंद डायरेक्शंस हमारे साथ शेयर की, डिस्कस की, वो हमारे लिए बहुत कीमती हैं, हमारी टीम के लिए बहुत कीमती हैं. और इंशाअल्लाह हम यहाँ पर ख़त्म नहीं कर रहे, बल्कि यहाँ से हमारी इब्तिदा होगी और हम एक नई डायरेक्शन में जाएंगे और मिलकर जाएंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच फ्रॉम माय साइड. अल्लाह आप लोगों को खुश रखे, अल्लाह आप लोगों से राज़ी रखे. डॉक्टर आसिफ.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. See, I would just like to extend my thanks to all our participants from other nations, from other campuses of Zabis, our PhD and MS students for their participation in this particular seminar. Dr. Amir, Dr. Imran and Dr. Sobia, I am personally grateful to you for placing a very broad canvas of knowledge creation in front of us. And I always say that when you talk of experts, तो फिर वो समुंदर आपके सामने होता है और आप उसमें छलांग लगाएं और धोती जो है वो नॉलेज के उसी ओशन की डेप्थ से लेके आएं. And at the same time, I always believe कि सितारों से आगे जहां और भी हैं, और this is not the end, this is the beginning of that. And as somebody said that your first step is likely to transform into a giant leap in the days ahead, provided you take the first step. We shall also get back to you for collaboration as far as research is concerned, and we look forward to similar interactive session with you, Dr. Imran, and with you, Dr. Sobia. और आप अपने कुलीग से या आपके जब भी कोई इस तरीके से वेबिनार होते हैं तो प्लीज़ शेयर दैट लिंक विद अस. It would be our honor to join that and undertake the pursuit of knowledge acquisition and knowledge sharing. And I'm positive that collaboratively we are going to achieve new milestone, discover new galaxy, and unfold new horizon as far as research pursuits are concerned. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for inviting me today. It was a sort of emotional bonding, because wherever we go, our roots are in Pakistan. So it was very nice to meet you all here and share with you some little findings of myself from my side. But it was heartwarming to see you all enthusiastic people around, and we can learn so many things from you. And looking forward for the collaboration, inshallah. And I will always be there. Anything we can do together on institutional platform, on personal platform, I'll be there, inshallah. Thank you so much.
डॉक्टर सोबिया एंड डॉक्टर इमरान, आप बड़े मॉडेस्ट हैं. आपने थैली में कुछ छोटी सी चीज रखी है, लेकिन वो एक छोटी सी प्लेट को हम बहुत बड़ा थाल समझते हैं, विद फुल ऑफ विजडम एंड बाउंटीज. और इंशाल्लाह ताला उसी पर्सपेक्टिव से जो है वो हम इन चीज़ों को आगे डायरेक्शन में लेके जाएंगे.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया for inviting us, especially Dr. Shafiq. You know, we can speak a whole day, but without interruption. So, sir, you already have a guy which have all our network on his one message. So no worries about anything. Dr. Shafiq is just like my brothers, and I really have a very strong bonding with him. So no problem. Whenever, whatever you need from us, we would be there for you. And sir, there are so many things we have to learn from you also. So we are looking forward to this collaboration. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. So we formally close the session now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our dean and all panelists and all participants.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. May Allah bless you all.